I did not expect to die on a forgotten moon at the edge of mapped space. No one does. Death is always something that happens to other people, until the moment the cold creeps into your bones, and you realize the universe will continue without you. My name is Jalen Marr. I was a scavenger, a salvager of wrecks left behind by wars too old for history to remember. The moon was called Vesh 9, a graveyard of twisted metal and radiation storms. I had come chasing rumors of a derelict battleship buried beneath its rust-red sands. The pay would have set me free from debt, from contracts, from the slow choke hold of survival. Instead, the moon tried to kill me. The storm came without warning. One moment the sky was a dull copper haze. The next, screaming winds hurled shards of metallic dust like knives. My shelter collapsed. My equipment shattered. I ran, blinded, lungs burning, until the ground vanished beneath me. I fell into darkness. When I woke, I was half buried in rubble. My left leg was pinned under a slab of alloy. My suit had torn. Radiation warnings flickered weakly on my cracked visor. I screamed until my voice was gone, then waited for unconsciousness to claim me. Hours passed, maybe days. Time became meaningless. That was when I heard the humming, a vibration through the stone, a presence. Light spilled into the pit as something impossibly tall stepped above me, outlined in silver and violet. My dying mind thought hallucination, until the figure knelt and 4 luminous eyes focused on mine. She was alien beyond anything I had seen. Her skin shimmered like liquid pearl. A crown of crystalline tendrils curved around her head, pulsing softly. Her long robe flowed as if underwater. And behind her stood armored figures, silent, unmoving, watching. I tried to speak. Blood filled my mouth. The being tilted her head. When she spoke, her voice entered my mind rather than my ears. "You are dying, small traveler." I closed my eyes. I had no strength left for fear. "Your life flickers. Why have you come to this dead world?" I did not know why I answered. Maybe because death strips lies away. "To survive," I whispered. A pause. Then, "I am Queen Kara of the Luminous Throne. This world is sacred ground to my people. No outsider has walked it in 1,000 cycles." I forced my eyes open again. "Then let me die. I'm already gone." The queen studied me. Her gaze was ancient, heavy with thought. "Not yet." One of her guards stepped forward, raising a spear that glowed like a small sun. I knew what came next. Execution. Mercy killing. Punishment for trespass. Instead, the queen raised her hand. The guard stopped. "He is broken, but life remains." I sensed persistence. Will. A refusal to surrender. She reached toward me. "Would you live, human?" I laughed weakly. "Is there another option?" "There is. But life comes with consequence." "What consequence?" Her eyes brightened. The air around us pulsed. "You would belong to the throne. Your fate would no longer be your own." I thought of debt collectors, of endless scavenging, of dying alone on forgotten moons. "Better than dying here," I whispered. The queen placed her hand against my forehead. Light exploded. I woke in warmth. Soft surfaces cradled my body. A translucent ceiling glowed overhead. The air smelled of rain and flowers. My leg, my crushed leg, was whole again, smooth, unscarred. I sat up, heart pounding. The room was alien architecture, curved walls of living crystal, flowing light channels instead of wires, soundless doors that dissolved when approached. Outside a window, I saw a vast city of impossible towers stretching beneath twin stars. A voice drifted from behind me. "You awaken quickly." I turned. Queen Esikara stood alone now, without her guards. In softer lighting, she seemed less terrifying, though no less regal. Her presence filled the room.
"What did you do to me?"
I asked. I remade what was broken. I looked at my hands. They glowed faintly, like pearl beneath skin. I'm not human anymore. You are what you were, and more. Your body carries luminous essence now. It will heal, endure, and serve. Serve. She approached slowly. You accepted life bound to consequence. You belong to the throne. You will be my chosen envoy to the outer species, a bridge between worlds. I swallowed. You saved me to use me. Saved you because I saw something rare. A spirit unwilling to surrender even when death claimed you. Such spirits make strong pillars for destiny. I wanted to argue, to refuse. But I remembered the pit, the darkness,
The end.
and if I say no, you cannot. The bond is sealed. Fear surged. Then I'm your prisoner. The queen's gaze softened. Not prisoner. Chosen. You will be treated with honor. But your path is no longer yours alone. I sank back onto the bed, stunned. This was my fate now. Not death. Something far greater. And far more dangerous. Days passed. Or cycles. Time in the luminous empire flowed differently. I learned to walk in my new body. Learned that I no longer tired easily. That my vision could pierce darkness. That my heartbeat resonated faintly with the city's glowing veins. I also learned the truth. The luminous empire was old. Older than humanity's first cities. They were guardians of balance, watchers of cosmic tides. And they were at war. A force called the Void Choir consumed star systems. Entire civilizations vanished without trace. The Luminous had fought them for eons, and were losing. Queen Esikara summoned me to the throne chamber, a vast hall where light cascaded like waterfalls. She stood before a circular map of galaxies, many marked in dark stains. The void approaches your species' domain. I stared at the map. Human space.
Yes.
They will come. Your people will not survive unprepared. I felt cold. And you want me to warn them. Not only warn. Unite. Humanity listens best to one of their own. You think they'll listen to me? I laughed bitterly. I'm a nobody. The queen stepped closer. You are chosen of the throne. You carry my essence. Your words will carry power. And what do I get in return? Her eyes glimmered. Purpose. I hated how much that word struck me. My old life had been nothing but survival. Now I had meaning whether I wanted it or not. When do we begin? I asked quietly. The queen's crystalline crown flared with light.
Soon.
The first human delegation arrived weeks later. A sleek diplomatic cruiser escorted by luminous starcraft. I stood beside the queen as representatives entered the hall, men and women in formal suits, their eyes wide with disbelief at alien splendor. They spoke of trade, of treaties, of curiosity. I spoke of doom. At first they dismissed it. Political maneuvering, alien myth, fear tactics. Then the queen unveiled memory crystals showing void choir worlds. Planets turned to silent dust, stars hollowed, civilizations erased as if they never existed. Silence gripped the hall. The lead ambassador turned to me. Why should we believe this? He asked. I met his gaze. Because I died, I said. And she gave me back my life. If she wanted conquest, she'd already have it. She doesn't need lies. She needs allies. Fear flickered across their faces. But fear alone does not forge unity. Over months, I traveled with luminous escorts to human worlds. I spoke in Senate halls, corporate councils, military chambers. I begged, argued, reasoned. Sometimes I shouted until my throat burned. Some listened. Some mocked. Some tried to capture me, dissect me, own me. Through it all, the Queen's voice lingered in my mind, calm and patient. You are the bridge. And slowly, humanity began to listen. The Void Choir arrived sooner than expected. A tear in space above the frontier colony of Arcturus Prime. Ships twisted like black bone, trailing void mist that devoured light. Human defenses crumbled in minutes. I watched from a luminous command vessel as the battle unfolded. Fear pressed against my ribs. Esikara stood beside me, her presence steady. Now you see why I chose you. Then help them, I said. All of them. We will. Luminous warships emerged, radiant spears of light against the void. Beams clashed. Space screamed. I saw humans fighting beside aliens, sharing shields, sharing hope. The battle lasted 3 days. When it ended, the Void Choir withdrew, wounded, but not destroyed. The galaxy had been shown the war was real. Humanity no longer doubted. Afterward, I stood alone on a balcony, overlooking the luminous capital. Twin suns rose, casting gold across crystal towers.
Queen Esikara joined me.
You have done well, Jalenmar. I smiled faintly. I didn't have much choice.
She regarded me with something like amusement.
Perhaps.
But you walked the path anyway.
What happens now?
I asked.
Am I still yours? Her voice softened. The bond remains. But bonds can change. Light gathered around us. I felt warmth, not force. Your debt is paid. Your service is acknowledged. From this moment, your fate is your own again, should you choose to leave. I turned to her, shocked. You'd let me go? Choice makes loyalty real, not chains. I thought of Earth, of stars beyond counting, of the war still ahead. Then I thought of the pit, of darkness, of the hand that pulled me from death. I bowed my head. I'll stay, I said. Not because I must, because I want to. The Queen's eyes shone like sunrise. Then rise, Jalenmar, not as servant, but as companion of the throne. I looked out over the galaxy, knowing my life had changed forever the moment an alien queen found me dying on a forgotten moon. I had come to Vesh 9 to survive. I left it destined to help save worlds. And for the first time in my life, fate felt like something I had chosen too. The final battle of the season did not come with explosions. It came with silence. Jalen stood on the observation bridge of the luminous flagship Radiant Will, staring at the dark rift where the Void Choir had retreated. The wound in space pulsed like a dying heartbeat, slowly knitting closed. For now, the galaxy was safe.
For now.
Behind him, the bridge hummed with quiet activity. Human officers and luminous commanders worked side by side, exchanging data, plotting patrol routes, preparing for whatever came next. The sight still felt unreal. Two species that had once been strangers now bound by shared terror and shared hope. Esikara approached without sound. She did not need footsteps to announce her presence. Light shifted when she moved. Space itself seemed to acknowledge her.
You carry unease, she said gently.
Jalen exhaled. I keep thinking about that pit. The moment before you found me. I remember how small I was. How meaningless.
And now?
He turned toward the viewport. Stars stretched infinitely ahead. Now I feel responsible. Not just for humanity. For all of this. The Queen regarded him for a long moment. That is the burden of those who survive death and return with purpose. He smiled faintly. You talk like this was always meant to happen. Perhaps it was. Or perhaps choice created destiny. Either way, here you stand. An alert chimed. A new transmission arrived from Earth's United Council. Jalen watched the message play across the hollow panel. Humans building joint fleets, citizens cheering in streets, children drawing pictures of glowing alien ships beside human ones. A future forming before his eyes. He turned back to Asakara. When the void comes again, will we be ready? Her crown flared softly. We will be ready, because now we do not stand alone. Jalen looked once more into the sea of stars. Somewhere out there, darkness still stirred. Somewhere out there, the void choir waited. But he no longer felt small. He had died once as a scavenger with no future. He had been reborn as a bridge between worlds. And as the flagship turned toward the waiting galaxy, Jalen Mar understood that fate had not simply been changed. It had been rewritten. By a queen. By a choice. By a second chance.